Do 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 do.
Beep beep.
Beep 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 do or some shit like that. Fucking the Beatles. They had a song called Beep Beep or some shit like that. I remember because I sung it in high school.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like-
I wish I didn't. I forget how it goes.
High school or middle school?
Nah, senior year of high school. Show choir.
What?
I was in Showtime for
Oh, that's right. Yes.
second half of senior year.
Yes, I do remember that actually.
She was fun. All I remember, the song starts as beep, beep, beep. At least that was my part. It's fucking dumb. I was just beep, beep, and doo doo. The whole song. Literally, my parts were beep, beep, and doo doo. So now when beep, 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 people say beep, beep, makes me think of that song.
That's funny.
It's fucking forever ingrained in my brain.
That's funny.
There's just some things that you remember, you know?
Certain things stuck.
Mm-hmm. There's all the muscle memory stuff. That's what we flew across the country to perform for competition or something like that.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. In front of all the East Coast Washington D.C. kids. Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. They were-
Man, I don't think I ever got to take any of those trips. I wanted to so bad, but
Okay, which one was the one that you wanted the most? I know which one I did. There was like the Florida marine biology trip.
no.
That shit seemed really cool.
Yeah, I heard about that one. I know that one seemed pretty cool, but I think the one that I wanted to go to the most was I think part of like the Spanish club where they take you literally to cross the border. I think they
What? I didn't know they did that.
If I'm not mistaken, I think they even crossed down south.
I remember the one where they would
If
take
I'm
you to
not
LA.
mistaken.
Fucking like Mango Street or some shit like that. I forget. You know what I'm talking about?
Olvera.
Oh, Vera Street. There we go. So you know I'm not a real Mexican.
That, but there was another trip that they did, and they
American.
went out of the state or the country. I really don't remember, but it was a pretty cool trip, and I wanted to do it.
That is dope. I didn't know that they went out of the country.
I could be wrong. I'm not gonna lie, because that low-key does sound pretty excessive.
Out of the country, yeah. I feel like that's usually either like private schools or once you get into college.
Probably.
She needs a little more. She's a little short. She's a little short.
She's a little thin.
Little thin there. It's not fully matured.
I like how you always have it grinded up in a jar.
Makes my life easy. I'll either get it pre-ground or
I was gonna ask that next.
if it's not pre-ground, usually what I get is sugar shake, and then I'll just fucking grind it all. I'll do one of two things. I'll grind it all and put it in the jar because it makes my life easy, or I'll just grind and pack the same day,
Okay.
and then I have a whole bunch of pre-rolls. That's the whole reason why I had all these cones. I used to just pre-pack all of my joints, and then one day I was in a dispensary and they were giving away one of the little joint rollers for the free 99, and I was like, I mean, I've never had one of these, but for the free 99 I'll give it a shot. And that was the quickest joint that I had ever made, and it was relatively even, nice. I was like, cool, I'm gonna use this instead of the fucking cones. It saves even more time, it's faster. And then I broke one of those rollers. I ended up having like 3 of them. One at home, one here, and then one that I would carry with me. And then I broke the one that I would carry with me. So I grabbed the one from in here, and then I didn't have anything in here, but I still had hella cones, and I was like, cones work. So I put the cones here.
How many does it come with?
This was 100 pack.
How much was it?
It was like $20, dude.
No.
Swear, it's cheap as fuck. Like $20, 100 pre-rolled cones. Stupid cheap.
And you can buy it like at any smoke shop?
Mine specifically, I got off of Amazon.
Oh, okay.
They do have them at smoke shops. I've seen them. I just don't know how much they cost.
Got you.
Yeah. America. Fuck yeah. Coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah. Speaking of saving the day, fucking America needs its day saved, huh?
Mm-hmm. All this crazy writing. You know, I'm all for, showing that, we have a voice and stuff like that. Like, I think personally the only time that we're ever seen as like illegal or criminals is whenever we all just ask to address us that we're American. Status or no status. At the end of the day, these are the same people cooking your food, picking your food, treating your mom, dad, baby, whether it's a physician, dentist, gynecologist, whatever. A specialist of some sort,
Cleaning all of the establishments.
Cleaning.
Maintaining all of the machines. A lot of what the Latino community does is brunt work.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We want to be seen as American and not just cheap labor.
Mm-hmm. But we're not seen that way.
But we're not, sadly. Haven't been for a very long time. Or actually ever.
Now, do you think things would be different if instead of protesting and going out to the streets, people just continued to live their life and just let government let their plans play out?
There's no, in my opinion, like, if that was the case, then we all might as well have just stayed in Mexico. Like, if nothing's gonna get better back over there, if nothing's gonna get better in a place that supposedly is supposed to be better, what was the point of leaving?
Right now, people would argue that Mexico is better than the U.S.
For sure. But what also sucks is that there's tons of people still continuously being kicked out because out in Mexico, it's also being gentrified. Just like all the barrios, all the hoods right here in Compton, LA, HP, wherever you want to look in the hood. It's getting gentrified. Like crazy. Look at Bellflower. Long Beach. Long Beach is getting gentrified like crazy.
That shit done happened already. We got rainbow streets.
And then there's that, it kind of just sucks that we're shown like, oh yeah, you're able to go to a process and, figure out how you can do your next steps. And of course it's way different when my parents did it back in like 80s, whenever they did it back in their day, versus now. Now it's just way more inconvenient. It's expensive just to submit the paperwork. The first amount of papers that you have to submit is $2,000.
Oof. It's to start.
That's just to start. That doesn't include court visits. That doesn't include all like the future documents that you also have to submit. Like,
that's a good question, actually. Do you know how much it costs to get your citizenship, like paperwork and all? What's the overall cost? Because I can guarantee
it's pretty. I think it's
90% of the people that are trying to get citizenship probably don't have that amount of money.
No, absolutely not.
Interestingly enough, the people that would have that money would be all of the people coming from Asia and Europe. Mm-hmm. That would be my assumption. Would be my assumption.
Have we started recording, by the way?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A good, I guess, tip is if the headphones are on, then we're going. Yeah. Welcome back. It's nice to have you.
Nice to be back. Nice to eat this time too.
I know. Last time you skipped out on tacos.
It says the current naturalization fee for a U.S. citizenship application is $760.
That's just to submit an application. Interesting.
Yep.
Do you have to pay anything afterwards?
It doesn't really say. Jesus Christ. There's so many pieces of paperwork.
Because if it's just each piece of paperwork is $750, that'd be nuts. You've got 20 documents, $750 for each of them. Imagine.
Yeah, it says that's all I can really see, and then it says you can get those. You can get that exempted for under certain conditions. But you have to request a fee waiver, and it's not like they're going to tell you about that when you're applying.
No. Interesting. I feel like it's got to be more than just the $750.
I think it is. I can't necessarily say because I haven't really heard about anybody going about through the process, but
Or if you do, it's usually through work.
and yeah, it was mostly from what I was hearing is that it was through like all the other jobs that I had. My coworkers at the time telling me about, their family stories.
Because I know my pops, I believe he got the process started with a company he was working with. I don't think he went like straight from like just doing it by himself. I'd have to ask him, but I think he had help from a company. But same, I don't think I've heard of someone's story of just doing it themselves and getting their citizenship. I know that there's people that have done it. I just don't personally know them, so I can't tell you either.
A few of the girls that we went to Mayfair with, I've seen them post about their parents, like recently getting their citizenship.
That's cool.
I thought that was pretty dope.
Right under the line.
Yeah.
Just keep your paperwork on you at all time. But here's an interesting part, which also makes sense though. So like at the riots and protests, they've started just detaining people that are interfering.
Yeah.
Instead of like, all right, fucking show me your documentation now. They're like, fuck you. You're going on the truck with everybody, and you can sort it out when you get to where they're going.
They recently mentioned that protesters can't wear masks either.
If you're going to be out there protesting, why cover your identity? Once you show up for what you're standing up for.
Because the government is tracking people that show up to protests.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You can't hide. It's funny. I saw a video of a dude just like smashing a car. He was the only one smashing the car. And I was like, how much of it is his actual anger towards
That part.
what's happening, or is
That
it just
part.
a release of pent up anger that he's having?
Fun fact, a lot of the people causing violence are plants. A lot of the time.
I'd believe that.
Yeah, it's usually police plants or government plants
FBI.
trying to
Incite violence.
incite violence so they can
close
clean
it
it
down
up
faster
as quickly as possible.
It makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Highly believable. I believe they killed JFK.
Well, it's like you remember
You could convince me.
you remember the George Floyd riots and stuff like that.
Yes.
When we were walking around, because I was at those, they were just pallets of bricks everywhere. And people were
supposedly it was for construction, but
people were like, why would any one of us spend that much money? Because bricks are not cheap. It's like $3-4 a brick.
Mm-hmm.
Pallets of bricks are expensive.
That's crazy.
And heavy, bro.
And heavy, yeah.
And heavy. You're telling me you just had a truck that you just had a flatbed and a forklift to just offload pallets of bricks? That's crazy. Yeah, some things just don't make sense. It's like they wrote it too good. You think we'll get a Trump for a third presidency? I've heard that going around. Shit's gonna get changed so that he can run for a third term.
Run for a third term. That's crazy.
I just don't want World War III. I saw.
Kind of feels like it already.
It does. As soon as Pakistan and India went to war, that was kind of like, all right, now now it's just waiting what's going to happen. Supposedly, I don't know if this is true or not, but Putin said that he would pull out of Ukraine if he gets Fauci, I think.
Oh, wow.
So that they could charge him for crimes against humanity.
That's crazy.
You want to kill it?
Go ahead.
Thanks.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm so like disturbed because what's also like throwing me off is that there's a lot of Hispanics that also voted, and it's like, this is what you guys voted for at the end of the day. Like, I don't know.
It's kind of like what did you think was gonna happen?
What did you think was gonna happen when you started? I don't know. I'm not gonna get too much into that, but it's crazy the time that we live in.
It really
2025,
is.
but we're back in the 50s when they were doing that Operation Wetback. Did you read about that?
I did not. Enlighten me. What is Operation Wetback?
Really?
Yeah.
I will tell you.
Oh. This is an opportunity to use the TV. Can you look up Operation Wetback? You're going to have to turn the TV on, though. I'm excited. We didn't use it last pod.
That's funny. More of a good reason, too.
Yeah. We actually have something to look up.
There we go. So, yeah, if you can pull that up for me, we can talk about that.
Sheesh. Mountains. That's really pretty.
Reminds me of Lord of the Rings.
Operation Wetback was an immigration law enforcement initiative created by Joseph Swing, a retired United States Army lieutenant and head of United States Immigration and Naturalization Service. The program was implemented in June 1954 by U.S. Okay. Oh, okay. There it is. Short-lived operation used military-style tactics to remove Mexican immigrants, some of them American citizens, interesting, from the United States, though millions of Mexicans had illegally entered the country through joint immigration programs in the first half of the 20th century, with some being naturalized citizens and some once native. Operation Wetback was designed to send them to Mexico. Interesting. This was mid-1950s. That's crazy.
There's a whole book about it.
No shit. Did you know there's a whole book about lynching
Yeah.
in the U.S.?
Yeah.
That shit's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
I forgot how... I don't remember what the name of it was. Dang, now that I think about it.
Of the book?
But I remember finding it in Mayfair Library.
Really?
Not playing.
Damn.
And I don't even think it was meant to be there, if I'm being honest, because you know how it normally had like the stickers,
Like mature content or some shit like that.
like
Adult rated, or because I remember they had something like that.
They had like some stickers to show that it was part of Mayfair and stuff like that.
Oh, those stickers.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, those ones too. Yeah. They were
so
like Mayfair's
I
ID
noticed that
codes.
it had anything like that. It didn't, no writing in it, no nothing. And I just decided to take it, and sure enough, it's still checked out. And like, I was like, okay. And so I went and I read about it, but yeah, I can't think of the name of the book now that I'm thinking about it.
I think I have it in my phone.
I don't remember.
Because I wanted to get that book. It was crazy when I came across it. I was like, wow, this is true history right here.
These sour belts are so addicting.
Oh, they're the best. They're the absolute best. It's called Without Sanctuary. Yeah, that book is rough. If you do a light Google, to me, it was the only word I can think of is disgusting, because the images in there are very similar to what you see.
I found a
in
PDF.
Yeah. Don't show that.
I'm not going to.
But if we were to look up like hunting pictures, basically the same thing, and I was like, this is horrendous. we could turn the TV off now. Thanks. I was thinking that right now. I was like, but yeah, that's crazy. I mean, history repeats itself. They're basically doing the same thing now, whether you're a citizen or not.
Yeah.
Going back.
Sad 2025, and that's why I said, we're back in like the 50s
1950s. Yeah.
So
That's nuts.
it's crazy. But hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully things can be better.
Does it ever trip you out that like all this crazy shit is happening literally miles from us?
Literally
But like
blocks.
life
They
still
were at-
moves.
They were at Cerritos College too, like
Mhm.
just casually going in areas, classrooms and stuff, and just arresting people and taking them into their big trucks.
Mhm.
They're 4x4s. They were disguised as regular vehicles, but they have
Yo.
Arizona license plates.
Interesting. Okay. Well, it's good to note.
So-
Arizona plates, huh?
And
I guess any out of state plate, just be
Yeah.
wary. Yeah, yesterday, I woke up late.
Because they're rent-a-cars. They're literally rentals.
Oh, interesting.
And the people that are actually making they're literally kidnapping people. People that are kidnapping these immigrants are not even actual law enforcers. They're, I mean, I have to see if I can find the link again, but apparently a lot of Proud Boys ended up getting deputized.
Oh my
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's not very good.
So these are
It's Trump's
completely untrained people
Mhm.
running around in military tactical gear. It's literally the brown shirts from fucking Germany.
Sick.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
Feels bad. Yeah, yesterday I woke up and I was going to go to the shop just to do some projects that I've had on the back burner, like personal projects.
Mm-hmm.
And check my phone like I always do, and fucking a block over, there was just
Oh yeah.
police and people and horses.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right, I guess I'm just staying home today.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just stay here.
I was making
ain't leaving.
some carne asada over the weekend,
I saw that. Looked good.
and I went to the North Gate to go buy my meat, and for a Sunday for Northgate to be empty,
It's crazy.
that's terrible. That's ridiculous.
Northgate stays popping.
And Northgate always stays popping.
Mm-hmm.
For it to be completely almost empty on a Sunday, that's when people normally are out
Grocery shopping.
haciendo sus compras. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just like, damn, dude, that's so messed up. That's so fucked up. Just ruining people's lives, literally.
But have you ever eaten at Northgate?
What do you mean?
Like their pre-made food?
I'll buy like their chicharron.
Oh, you gotta try more than that. It's pretty good.
I don't think I'll really care to try anything else other than that, if I'm being honest.
Like the carnitas.
Actually, no. Carnitas are good. The chicharron's good. But other than that, no.
That's about all I get. Carnitas. That's it.
That, and I always look forward to like between, I think it's like October-ish to about February. That's kind of like the months of like the season for wasanas. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
So wasana.
It's a garbanzo bean basically.
Interesting. Okay.
But when they sell them in the store, it still comes with like their outer shell. So
Little guanabana?
no, wasanas. And typically in Guadalajara, like they grill them with like a little bit of oil and stuff, and they char them a little bit, and then they just put salt water and let it steam with salt water.
Interesting.
And normally you can just have it like that and eat it like that, and it's good just like that. Or you can add like the extra toppings that they normally put, which is like, I think they put like tapatio, tahine, a little bit of lime, or if you want it more just like chamoy and tahin, like I don't know, they just prepare it like
Yeah.
different ways, whatever your preference is. But
Interesting.
normally they serve it with like tapatio or like whatever chile that they use, and lime and yeah.
Do they look like a large bean?
Not really.
Because there's some things that I used to eat with my pops. I want to say they're called habas, but you'd kind of prepare them the same way. You would just fry them with salt, and then you'd fry them and then sprinkle salt on them. And they had like this outer shell that was crunchy, and the inside was almost like potatoy when it was fried.
Oh.
Or it was really interesting.
Oh no, yeah, that might be different. Yeah.
Okay, because I know different regions also
Yeah.
call the same thing different things. That's why I was like, interesting. The preparation was almost exact. So
It's like a garbanzo bean, but
so
instead,
it's fucking this one, which is weird. But it's like flat.
no, it's
Interesting.
more like I
What's
don't
it
know how to
called? Can you look
explain
this up? Let's see. I gotta see a picture of this.
it. Yeah. Wasana,
You know how to spell that?
Guasana.
That's weird. I think you're literally like right in front of the fucking sensor. Like
That's pretty funny.
I have to lean over to make it work.
There you go. That's
pretty
the
funny.
picture.
Oh, okay. I have definitely seen these. Interesting. I've never tried those though.
They almost look like what are those fruits called? Lychees or whatever?
A lychee or lychee. Yeah.
And they normally make them in like a big ass like.
Yeah, I see big old bowls.
Oh, they're garbanzo beans.
Yeah.
Guasanas are legit garbanzos?
Yeah, they're garbanzo beans.
Oh.
Look up an ava. I don't know how you spell that. I'm gonna guess. Well, probably if you do ABBA, you're gonna find something. You're gonna
No.
find a singing group.
You're gonna.
And if you do,
just
that's
put-
exactly
yeah.
what I thought. Ava, but that, you know, do like ava bean or something like that. Mexico.
Fava.
Those ones. Yeah.
Habas or fava?
I guess ava.
Fava?
HABA.
Bro, we got faba, we got fava, and we got haba. What the fuck is happening?
I don't know. I guess go to all so we can find out. A faba bean. Most likely referred to ava, also known as a broad bean or fava.
Oh,
Faba,
okay.
also fava. Interesting. Yeah, habas.
So how do you prepare those? The same
Literally
way?
fry them and then salt, and then yeah, some people will do tapatio,
Yeah.
lemon, fucking chamoy, whatever your
Yeah.
taste buds like.
That's interesting. So it tastes more of like what though?
Like chips. It's almost like
Okay.
eating chips.
Says they have an earthy flavor and granular texture right there.
Okay.
I just saw it.
Like
It's probably like
potato chip.
it's like probably within the same family of like the
Probably.
garbanzo bean. I wouldn't be surprised.
They all beans.
Mine is just like a little smaller than that one. The one time that it's only smaller.
Stupid.
That'll be the only time.
The beans. I got big old beans, you know. It sounded like you went. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, my mic is on still.
I looked back like, what's he doing over there? You're just
Getting
drinking
a
water. I
little
was like, oh,
freaky.
yeah. And I was like, damn. When you're at the Diddy party, that's how you know it's time to go, you know?
When you start hearing that sound, you know it's time to go home.
Bro, I was like, why is everyone looking at me? My mic is still up.
Your water bottle wanted to be part of the conversation, you know? That was funny. Yeah, beans. Like it. But yeah, I used to be fucking shit up. Say it. It'd be like that.
Ow.
Sorry. My bad.
But yeah, good times.
Good times. Bad times. It's just times, you know?
How you been doing?
Not bad. I've been all right. I've been trying to remember that I'm doing all of the things that I was excited to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're doing difficult things, you can forget sometimes. It's just that cool shit is hard.
I guess I kind of see that in a similar light. Actually, was like a meme that I came across.
You love a good meme.
I know this is corny.
There's no corny in here. This place is built for memes, by memes. This place in itself is a meme. This is actually a joke we took a little too far.
Technically a meme is just an idea.
Is it really? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought a meme was just like a joke in picture form.
Dang. Don't tell me it got deleted.
So the definition of a meme is an image, video, piece of text, etc., typically humorous in nature that is copied and spread rapidly by internet users, often with slight variations, or an element of a culture or system of behavior passed from one individual to another by imitation of other non-genetic means. So it's like an idea that passes through society just by people copying each other.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's pretty nuts. That's cool. Yeah, we're a meme.
Dang.
I had to look at the camera, you know. This is what the second one was for.
So I think I might have just unsaved it on my thing because I normally would have had it. But it's basically like along the lines of like, I guess it's a little hard to celebrate your wins because at the end of the day you knew you were obligated to achieve them.
Mm-hmm.
And like in a sense I kind of related to that. It was like also like one of the NBA finals and I forgot who it was, but they were carrying him on a chair and he was just like, I think the camera just caught him at like a perfect time and he would just look very serious. I forgot who it was, but that was like the picture for like that quote.
Yeah.
And I just thought to myself, I was like, damn, I felt that.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's not because we want to do a thing or this was our goal. Mm-hmm. So we were just the only one to do it.
Yeah.
I want to see that picture because I'm imagining the face and I'm like, that's very fitting because it's probably like, but it's also counterintuitive. It's not enjoying of the moment, which you should be because you worked so hard to get there.
Exactly.
But knowing that like that face is like, I knew I was going to get here because I was working so hard.
Yeah.
So like, why should I celebrate? Because I deserve this.
Mm-hmm.
Which is where the how would you word that? Counterintuitiveness would come in. Because you should celebrate your successes.
All the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I noticed that. I should have done that a little more once I got this new job. But I was like, you know what? I'll wait until maybe like this weekend. Because I'm also going to go see like some family in the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And it's family I haven't seen in a long time. And it's like, you know what? I'll celebrate it then. Because I know I haven't seen them in years. So we have a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah.
So it's exciting.
Then you get to celebrate with people instead of just by yourself.
No, yeah, for sure.
Which I guess that's where the difference between that picture and us would be. Because I feel like a lot of our victories typically is not seen by people. We're by ourselves when we
mostly
finish, complete, whatever it is, where we're like, whew, I did that. You're alone. And then you're like, cool, wrap up. And then you come in the next day and it's just like things are moving again.
Yep.
Yeah, because like in the photo, being carried by the team. Well, after you carried the team, makes sense that they carry you, but you'd be like, this was us. Because still, sure, the best player can win a championship, but without the team, it wouldn't have been possible.
Yeah.
You could be the best, but it's not a single player sport, so.
No.
Yeah.
I feel that 100%.
What do you think is a good way to work on celebrating your successes or wins?
Drinking. I'm just kidding.
75%.
75%.
That's funny.
Shoot. Honestly, I think probably the same way that my dad did. We would go on vacation.
Nice.
Just something in the sense of making a memory of it, you know. I read this quote, not quote, but I think I overheard someone talking about this. I don't remember where. It might have been a podcast or something. But they say that your life starts to go fast, like it's going fast, because you have your everyday routine, you have your 9 to 5, you have your just everything that you're used to. So that's why it goes fast for you. The one thing that you need to not just you, but everyone needs to take the time to learn to do is to do something out of your routine, do something out of the ordinary, whether if it's even going to a dinner, going to a movie, comedy show, or even taking like a weekend trip to like Temecula, San Diego, whatever you prefer. When you decide to do something outside of your routine, that's when life kind of slows down for you a little bit. You start to appreciate what's going on a little more now because you're not at work. You're not at home on your laptop doing work for the next day. You are not thinking about, dang, I didn't do that for this customer this day, so I got to worry about that at this time at 9 a.m. or at 10 p.m. You know, you're turning your brain off for a second. And when you're allowed to breathe a little, you know, let yourself breathe. That's why they, you know, a lot of these, what's it called? These like new drinks that they're coming out with, like mushroom coffee and
the mud water.
Like the mud water and all that stuff. Like they're promoting stuff like, oh, that helps lower your cortisol levels. Like that's what keeps you stressed out when your cortisol levels are so high. That's why they always try to tell you, like, get massages, do this, do that. Like, you know,
go for a walk.
That's
actually the easiest one you can do.
Is going for a walk.
A little bit of blood flow and sun does a world of difference.
Super. So, you know, they say, like, slowing down every once in a great while is also good for you. It also, like, in a sense, helps, like, you live a little bit longer.
I could see that.
Because you're less stressed, basically.
Yeah. And stress also comes with a higher heart rate. The higher your heart rate is for a prolonged period of time, sooner you are to have heart failure or heart disease.
Memories are always good. That'll always stay with you, especially if you take lots of pictures, videos, whatever. And I'm a picture girl, so I always take pictures of everything.
I fucking got into a really bad habit of not taking any pictures.
Really?
Yeah. I started being that.
Why?
Like, I'm living in the moment.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I agree. But there's nothing wrong with having like, remembering a certain memory and like, oh, you have like 4 or 5 pictures from that night or from this event that you went to. Like, it's always nice to have. And I know, like, not all of them are going to be nice, but
I do know.
It has a story behind it, you know. Everyone loves a good story.
Everyone does love a good story. Yeah. Right now I'm thinking about this past fishing trip I took with some buddies. And 2 of them specifically, shout out to Gino and Jeff, were taking a lot of photos and videos. And I tried to pull out my phone more than I typically do, and I did take some photos.
Nice.
but I took zero video. I didn't take time to like set up any cameras or any shots or anything like that. I was just like, I'm here to fish, and I was just excited fishing. But then coming back, and it's interesting because coming back, I'm like, man, I wish I took more video so that I could re-experience what I was experiencing, and also to share, because now all I have is stories. That's a paradox in itself, right?
It is.
It's like I just want to tell the story in a different way, or I want to share the experience
in a different way.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I gotta do that more. Yeah.
Personally, I would 100% rather you tell me a story than you just shove a phone in front of my face.
That's also fair.
I don't know. That's just me,
Also
though.
fair. I think part of it has to do with like I would have loved to so I know I was physically catching, but I would have loved to experience what my buddies saw too, because from their depiction it was like every time I was throwing the line out I hooked up. And it kind of felt that way, but also not really. It's like I was constantly in the actual act of like luring, so I don't remember if like, oh, between cast or was it every single. It felt like it. It's just interesting. I remember my excitement. I would have liked to see it though.
It just makes me think of that time you and I were talking. You're like, I would 100% have a camera crew follow me all the time if I could.
Oh yeah, I totally would. Totally would.
That's just what it's making me think about. It's like you just need your own sitcom at this point. Just have
you know what? Honestly, that's not a bad idea.
It's not.
And you can also like do it as like, I don't know, like an exclusive for your channel too.
That'd be fun.
Charge people $5 for that episode. Boom.
Fuck it.
Make your money.
Fuck it.
$5 is $5.
Like a super behind the scenes. I feel like there was either a movie like this or a video like this where it's basically like you see a dude that just has a camera crew behind them the whole time. I could be wrong, but I don't know. It would be fun. I feel like there's just a lot of experiences and memories that do also get just kind of like lost under the radar too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can have like just 4 or 5 photos from like one night, and it'll all just come back to you like nothing, unless you were like that blackout.
That's true.
Then
you're not gonna butterfly effect it.
That's kind of you.
Yeah.
You're just gonna remember that you were just blacked out that night.
Someone's gonna tell you that you got blacked out that night.
Someone's gonna tell you that you got blacked out.
And you're like, fuck.
It happened.
Something I've been wanting to do more, because I'll go and I'll take pictures, but I look at them and I don't really feel anything towards them. I want to take pictures of me doing the stuff, like a selfie at the river or something. Yeah. Because like I've been fishing a lot, so taking pictures of the rivers that I'm at, it's like I don't like it's a picture of a river. Who cares? Yeah. And then I have the pictures of the fish that I catch to show off, but it's like there's nothing to show that I was there.
You were actually
if that
there.
makes sense.
No, yeah, you should.
Tripod and remote clicker.
Yeah.
Oh, with your phone?
Yeah, if I just do my phone, I guess.
I mean, phone takes a really good fucking picture.
Tripod,
so
yeah.
Back to like not wanting to take pictures. When I started doing photography, I was like, oh, I don't want to use my phone because I'm a photographer. I could take it really, like, if I had my camera, it'd be like so much fucking better. And then I had to knock that shit off and be like, I have a camera in my fucking pocket. Just take the goddamn picture. So I started taking pictures with my camera, or with my phone, the camera on my phone. And then it just devolved to like, I'm vibing. I'm here. I'm vibing. We're chilling, you know.
Pro tip, you can turn off the Apple algorithm, like AI algorithm that cleans up your pictures, and if you turn on Apple RAW, and it'll just give you the raw photo.
Oh.
Which is what I've done. I turned that shit off.
So I don't think I ever had my phone auto delete photos because I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're going to delete. And then I just recently saw that it would pop up in RAW on the photos. That means that it retains the most amount of information on the photo. It's like the original format of the photo. So just like everything else, RAW is better. But yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that that's what that was. I was just like, oh, cool. It detects it's RAW now. That's cool.
Hell yeah.
You're little Miss Samsung over here.
Hater. It's not
No,
even
it's
Samsung.
Android. Android's better. Look, Android is a better software, and most Android phones are made better. I'm just locked into the ecosystem.
I see.
It's hot. It's hot. I like taking a picture on my phone, and it's already on my computer. You know, it's nice. Makes my life easy.
I like Apple just because if I just want my phone to work. I don't want to play with it anymore. There's a reason
There's also that.
kids love iPhones over Androids so much more, just because they're stupid easy to use.
Super easy to use. Yeah.
And they all do the same thing. You can put someone in front of any iPhone or iPad and they'll know how to use it.
I don't.
Well, yeah, you're on
Have
fucking
you?
Android.
That's true. They've trained you to not use it.
I am more than happy with my Android.
It's a great phone.
It's a beautiful phone.
It's a great phone. It works.
It works.
It's like so that
And I never have to worry about buying like every stupid little part just to charge my phone. Like,
fuck Apple. Yeah, that wasn't nice. That wasn't nice when they did that.
and then when they took away the headphones for
that
you
wasn't
guys,
that was. I distinctly remember because I was going to.
This time I'm not touching the label.
Yeah, don't touch the label. It's gonna get all over you.
You want more? Oh no, you're good.
Yeah, I might. I was going to Vegas with Sebastian and Esmeralda for the iHeart Music Radio Festival, the Daytime Village. Woo, to be specific, because apparently you have to. And I was gonna go to sleep because we were driving at night, but I wanted to listen to music, but my phone was gonna die. It was at 12%, and I didn't have Bluetooth headphones at the time, so I had to choose: do I want to listen to music for 12% of my battery or charge my phone? And I was like, I fucking hate that Apple did this. It's like, these assholes. These fucking assholes. It's not nice. It just, for you guys, yeah, it's funny, but not for us. And then on the laptops, they got rid of all of the ports.
Did they really?
And if you get like a newer MacBook, what is it, like past 2017, 2018?
They brought them back on the newest ones.
Really?
Yeah. 2023, I think, or 24 was the last crappy one.
Nice.
Yeah.
They just gave you 2 C ports, and if you wanted to do like an SD card, HDMI, USB,
You had to pay extra.
you had to pay extra for like, I think minimum when they first came out were like $100 for this fat adapter that would plug into both of your C ports. It was pretty lit.
Can't relate.
Thankfully, I didn't have one of those laptops.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, it's been a good time. It's cool.
I haven't paid for a new phone since like 2020, if I'm not mistaken. I've had this phone for the last like 5 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Technically same, but not in the same sense.
Why?
I've cycled out my phones.
Oh.
Yeah. So last phone I had before this one, I currently have the 12. I had the iPhone 10, the first one that came out. That one I fully paid for it, but it was the 256. And then shortly after I lost my foot, somebody was selling this 12 that I have in my pocket. And I sold my phone to buy this phone before they had made a deal. I just banked on the fact that they would sell it to me at the price that I wanted. So I sold my phone. I made an iCloud copy, sold my phone to a customer, took that cash, and then I bought this phone. And then the leftover from the purchase just went back into the business because that was the value that we wanted to sell the phone at. So I just kind of washed my hands.
Gotcha.
I lucked out pretty much.
You really did.
Yeah. And then I had this phone. The only reason I did that, though, was because when we were checking, everything was good minus the fact that it's remote managed. So technically my phone belongs to a company, and at any point it could just lock on me. It hasn't happened in like 2 years. So, fingers crossed. But yeah, at any point, let's say like if whatever company it belongs to is like, all right, we're switching phone plans. I'm like, boop, my phone's just locked.
Locked.
Yeah.
That's
I could go to
crazy.
Apple because I have all my Apple ID stuff and be like, hey, help me. But they might be like, no, this is for a company. So
Oh.
I figured I'd cross that bridge when I get there. Hasn't happened yet, so fingers crossed.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're just living the best life.
I made everybody happy, and I bit the bullet,
Yeah.
I bought the phone off of a college student who needed money. A kid got a new phone, my old iPhone X. I got a new phone, might get locked. Works. See, if I sold that phone, then the kid that got a new phone that worked, his phone might have locked. See, I'm the good guy here.
That's crazy.
That's my all-around justification to my iPhone 12.
That is so crazy right there.
It worked out.
That's funny.
It was a good deal.
You're hilarious.
It's a good deal indeed. Be like
Very
that sometimes.
good deal. Fuck it.
No
Wing
complaints.
That joint got me pretty high. I'm very
It's
surprised.
good, just good stuff.
Like,
does the
very
job.
surprised.
It's good stuff. It's all good stuff. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, but you're really feeling it now, eh?
Oh yeah, throw it back.
I like when it burns in my nostrils. It's nice. All right. Well, shout out to Trader Joe's.
Shout out to Trader Joe's. Oh yeah.
Oh, it's actually bottled in Scotland. I guess that makes sense. It's Scotch whiskey. What do you prefer, Scotch or bourbon?
Scotch.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking love bourbon.
I love my Johnny Walker.
Mm.
I love my Johnny Walker.
I like Buffalo Trace. That one's good.
That
I think
one's
my
good.
all-time favorite. Do I have it up here? I don't see it. I don't see it. It's called Knob Creek. It's a maple whiskey.
I've heard of that one. That one's
so
good.
That shit's so good.
There's yeah. Johnny Walker really has to be my absolute favorite. It's like the one that I really will drink like just like that. I'm very surprised. I actually really do like this one. It's pretty smooth.
It's nice. I told you. It's good.
Thought it was gonna be a little more rough, but I like the finish.
You know what? I was putting slander on Trader Joe's too. I was like, Trader Joe's, $20. This is gotta be rough.
I'm
for
not
sure.
gonna lie. I sometimes will go down rabbit holes on like Instagram, like just maybe like an hour. No, not even an hour. Maybe like half an hour before I go to bed.
Mhm.
And
I do like 3 hours before I go to bed.
no, never mind. Yeah, I think a little bit longer than that. I think I want to say like a good 2 hours
Like,
before
it feels
bed.
like 30 minutes, but
But it's really like 2 hours before bed.
I start half an hour before bed, but I'm doing it for 2 hours.
there you go. There you go.
That's the thing. I mean to do it for at least 2 hours, and then once I hit bed, like it's bedtime. That's it. That's how I'm trying to like train myself. But I've been seeing a lot of people like get really good snacks from there, and I'm like, you know what? I tried it once. I tried going through their snacks, and maybe I went to the wrong one. I don't remember which one I went to, but I want to give it a chance again and see what snacks I can find, because I see a lot of like just even like the even the frozen
The frozen meals.
the frozen
the
meals
lunch.
that they have. Yeah.
Yeah.
They look bomb.
Surprising. My brother really likes Trader Joe's.
They
So-
look really good.
Yeah, they've got some really interesting
And I'm
stuff
dying
there.
to try those stupid soup dumplings. I keep seeing it everywhere on Instagram. And I'm like, okay, now I feel like I have to try them.
So at Trader Joe's, I don't know if they still do this, but if you asked to try one of the snacks, they would open it for you and they would let you try it before you bought it. You can like sample their snacks. You just have to ask one of the employees.
What?
Mm-hmm. That way you don't have to like
That
buy the
cannot
whole
be
snack.
a thing. Seriously?
Mm-hmm. And then they just like keep them in the back. So like at some point, all of the snacks are going to want to be sampled, right? So then you just get one bag of everything that's opened. You just keep it, label it, and when people want to sample, then you go buy your bag. If you like it. They used to do that. I don't know if they still do, but could you Google that? I wonder if that's Googleable.
Maybe during
Probably not since COVID.
I was gonna say just that. I was like, you know what? Probably since COVID happened,
Yeah.
they probably stopped.
That would make sense.
I've been wanting to hit that one. It's like, I think it's still technically like Long Beach because like I think it's the Acapulco that's right there. Or if I'm not tripping, or is it more down that way? The really expensive store on PCH and 2nd Street.
Oh,
It starts with a G. I can't remember.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what you're
Is
talking
it-
about.
It's
Oh, Gladstones.
Gladstones,
Yes.
that one.
You do know what
Is
you're
it
talking about.
Gladstones? No.
I think so. Could be wrong. Gelson's?
Gelson's. There you go.
Gladstones is a restaurant at the Pike.
Gladstones is the restaurant, yeah. Gelson's. I've been wanting to try hitting that little store and see what they got.
They will make they have pre-packaged sandwiches made fresh daily. Bomb. Had a customer bring me a sandwich for lunch one
But I
day.
know it's a
Very
little
nice. Shout out to
expensive.
Alex. It is a little expensive.
Little expensive.
Just a little bit, but you know, it'd be like that sometimes. It's not an everyday shop, you know. Not an everyday shop. Like for me, my go-to grocery outlet, Superior or El Super.
For sure.
Great.
So it looks like they did stop during COVID, but some stores have restarted doing samples. And what they do is they'll have like sample stations where they just have like a bunch of the snacks set up.
Yeah, see,
and
I
out,
thought
so
so
you
that
can
they
just
would do
try
that.
'em. Yeah.
That's cool.
Kind of like Costco.
Yeah.
I thought they would do something like that.
I mean, that's smart. It's smart. You're going to sell more that way. Or you're more likely to sell that way, I should say.
Yeah, you're more than likely going to sell.
'Cause people could try it.
Because that's how Costco
Even if-
gets me every single time.
Yeah.
Like, whatever, like, little snacks that they're handing out, that's what I go there. The one time that I don't mind going, like, super faded to the store, Costco.
That's funny.
I love,
I feel like that's the
Costco,
wrong place to go faded.
because I'm fed. I'll do my rounds.
Wow.
Bro,
Take the jacket off.
my
I'm a
parents
different
will
person.
go to Sam's and Costco and have dinner, just samples. Just, that's their dinner for the
Yeah.
night.
I love that. That's a good dinner date. That's cute.
I used to do that with my pops. So we'd go have lunch at Costco.
I
and then
love
we'd get
that.
groceries. Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
I loved the food court at Costco alone is amazing because
OP.
the person that's in charge of also making those prices refuses to raise the prices. He's like,
Mhm.
no, I'm just gonna leave it like this. Like, what do you mean? But
People are like, but you're losing so much money on the hot dogs. And he goes, you know how much fucking money we make off their groceries?
their everything.
It's like, so what? Let them eat a fucking hot dog while they're here.
Yeah.
It's fair.
And so, I love
It's a
doing
good
my
marketing
rounds
tactic.
in Costco while I'm shopping. I'm looking for my everything that I need for the week, and then I'll go like outside and I'll take another hit or two,
Leave the card on the inside. No, I'll be back for you.
and then I'll come right back. No, I'll lie to them and say like, oh, I accidentally left one of my cards that I want to pay with in my car. Can I please go get it? They're like, okay, that's fine. Just leave your cart right here. So I'll go outside and I'll go take a couple hits and then I'll come right back and I'll be like, okay,
Damn.
I'm good.
Do you go in with the shopping list or no shopping list?
No shopping list. I generally know what I want. The only thing that gets me is, like I said, when I'm doing my rounds and I find a new thing that I want, and I'm like, okay, I want to try this, I want to try that. That's where it gets expensive for me. What I normally go there and get is meat and salmon. Oh, and of course, like my vitamins and stuff. But for the most part, I don't really go. Oh, and like whatever my mom will need, like toilet paper and paper towels and all
the
that
stuff that makes sense to buy there.
Essentials. So like I'll go and I get that. But for the most part, no, I don't really go for anything too crazy. Unless, like I said, I'm doing rounds and I'm fucking just throwing shit in the cart. And I'm like, I want to try this, want to try that. My limit is 5 things.
5 new things.
That's my limit, because before you know it, I'm paying like $300-$400 in fucking shit that I really don't need.
Yeah. Costco can run up a bill pretty quick.
And I am one of them that will run it up.
It's funny.
I am terrible when it comes to that. That's why I don't go to Target. Like, if I go to Target, it's because I absolutely need like my feminine stuff. And that's it. Like, I'll do the occasional, like, okay, I need to re-up on my eyeliner, my mascara. But if I stay and shop, I will shop. And then I spend another $200. I can't have a credit card.
Because you have the money.
Not literally. Like, I haven't bought a credit card, like, I haven't signed up for a credit card in a very long time. So, yeah, I don't trust myself with a credit card.
You have money. You'll spend money.
Yeah, I
feel it.
I don't want to.
I enjoy shopping.
I enjoy shopping too.
Yeah, it's fun.
I mean, I've been very good about making my payments and stuff, so that's why, like, I'm good. I don't have like any type of debt. The worst type of debt I ever had was like $300. I wasn't like too bad into it, but you know, like, regardless, $300, that's still a lot. But there's also people that tell me, I hear stories where they're like tens and 20s and $30,000 deep, and I'm just like, damn. I feel bad for my friends. They have like $50,000-$60,000 loans that they are like deep in.
It's the worst when it's just student loans.
And it's student loans.
That's the worst. Those are the worst. That's the worst kinds. That's the worst kinds of debt to have.
My poor friends are suffering.
Feels bad. Biden was supposed to get rid of that for him, but
I don't feel bad. He had a rich daddy. His mom's a judge. His daddy is a real estate agent. He has money.
There you go. They should have paid it for him.
They should have paid it.
Should have paid it. Crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, work's been okay.
You're asking me, or you saying me?
Asking you.
Now, work. I would describe my work as both being on the roller coaster and operating the roller coaster at the same time. Yeah. You don't really know what's around the corner. Especially so, tariffs kind of fuck things too, because businesses were cutting costs on things that they don't deem necessary to operate their business, and new uniforms. It's not necessary to operate your business. Your team already has uniforms. They're just a little old. But we don't need new stuff to keep operating. I need you to need stuff.
Yeah.
So that I can keep operating. So, some people held. Some people were just in desperate need.
Yeah.
But like, it's interesting. It's hard to properly gauge the patterns in the industry when we haven't had stable years from external causes. So there's no actual pattern for us to refer to.
Really fall, yeah.
Yeah, like in electronics, we've been... In electronics, it's been relatively steady, whether it's like political issues, taxing things, COVID, it doesn't matter. Electronics has just like always been necessary. So we have a pretty good gauge on what months do good, what months slow down, why they're slowing down, and then when we're going to pick up and for what reason we're picking up. With apparel, there has not been any type of consistency, and it's not from our lack of trying. It's, again, just external factors. So that's why I say strapped to the roller coaster while operating it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
But
crazy.
it's cool. It's fun. I get to do arts and crafts all day.
Right.
So not that I can't complain. Sure, there's plenty to complain about, but I don't complain because for what? You know, which goes back to I have to remind myself that I'm doing all the things that I asked to do. And I have to remember to enjoy them. Because this is something that's really tricky, and I always bring up when people ask about doing their own business or pursuing their passion and trying to make money out of it. Once you start combining money and your passion, it can get really, really blurry as to where passion ends and work begins.
For sure. Yeah.
So, forcing myself to remember that it's just arts and crafts, and I get to make cool shit. Not that I have to make cool shit. I get to make cool shit. Because not everybody goes to the office, to the shop, whatever your workplace is, and just gets to make things for fun for other people. Like, bring other people's ideas to life. And beyond that, have it be something that they've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
So, gotta remember that. That's what I'm currently working on and trying to drill into my brain, because it keeps on fucking... That's like a little fleeting light. It's always there. The pressure is always there. So it's... I have to drill it in just... I have to drill the idea in just as hard as the pressure is being put on, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's fun, all in all. Like, I think about everything that we're doing and all the things that I've made and what I'm learning. The period of time that I've done it in. That's when I actually go like, oh shit.
It's impressive.
Let me give myself a little pat on the back.
Before I knew it, you were posting that you were trying to learn how to operate the machines that you were doing. I was like, this guy, from manual labor to...
Dude, it was just like this. It was nuts. So I think that's also one of the reasons why it's I guess difficult to celebrate the successes as well. Everything's moving so fast. There's no time. So you go, okay, cool, boom, this happened, awesome, did it, moving. But every once in a while, I go, okay, this is where we're at. This is what we've done. I should just.
Yeah.
I can't just breathe.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's been work. It's been cool. It's been fun. Right now we're looking into more space.
Nice.
Because we're very cramped. So we're very cramped and we're paying too much. And those two things don't go together. So we're looking for some space to move into at the moment. So that's our current goal / task.
Oh yeah, that's the next thing on the list.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This did the last one. So unbeknownst to me, I had kind of set up like a New Year's resolution, air quotes, but I didn't really think about it as a resolution. In my brain, I have one embroidery head. By the end of the year, I want to multiply it to 6. And beginning of January, we had, or just before the year ended, I should say, we had placed our order for 4-head embroidery, which is our largest machine. And, excuse me, and we had already added 2-head embroidery machine. So the year ended, and I'm looking at all the machines, and I go, oh shit, I did turn one into 6. I was like, okay, cool, what's next? We need a warehouse. All right, this year, warehouse. So that's what we've been aiming for. So it's exciting. It's the next step.
Fingers crossed.
Fun. Fingers crossed indeed. Fingers crossed indeed. We had, I talked with Alex a long time ago, and we had thrown around the idea where if we had enough space in the warehouse, that I would move the podcast studio to the warehouse. So that'd be cool. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, yeah.
We have a couple of spots lined up. We just have to go look and see if it'll work out for spacing and for what we want to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if the numbers work, that's the most important part, right?
Nearby, by your shop?
I think there was a couple in like the downtown Long Beach area, and then the rest were more towards like Paramount, and that if you keep going, what is it, like north, there's a little bit more of an industrial area.
Mm-hmm.
There's just like a large warehousing there.
Mm-hmm.
It's around that area, not too far.
Yeah.
So basically, I was gonna say the same distance from the same distance we're driving now. It's just double the distance actually. So it'd just be a longer drive. Like from here to my place, as opposed to halfway point.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not that big a deal though. Still relatively close.
Hell yeah.
What about you? How's the new office been?
It's interesting.
I like interesting.
It's interesting to say the least. Yeah. Completely new field. I'm not even familiar anything with the medical field at all.
I was gonna ask. I was like, you're doing something medical because I see scrubs.
Yeah.
So what do you guys do? What's your office for?
It's a neurological office.
Trippy.
So, I low-key don't want to say too much about it just because
okay.
I don't want to like expose myself.
You good?
But I guess to be more in general, but yes, it's a neurological office. I work for 2 neurologists. One of them, we basically do testings for what they're called EEGs, and they're testings that are authorized by your primary care physician.
Mm-hmm.
And they usually send a referral and an authorization. We approve it to prove their insurance, whatever. They come in. Depending on the patient, sometimes the state pays for, or their insurance will pay for it, or like I said, just depending on their insurance. Sometimes they'll have to do a copay. But for these studies, normally I think it's covered by their insurance. And it's mostly just a study of like brain activity, and it's usually because they deal with seizures, whether if it's minor, severe, chronic, whatever. Strokes, just studies of that, just monitoring what's going on in their brain and stuff. These studies usually go from 15 to 20 minutes. Depending on the patient, it really depends on like how well they can maintain during it. Normally it's supposed to be 20 minutes, but if they have like whatever kind of conditions that they have, like some of them are not able to stay through the whole study. And if the study is read like well enough, then, it's passed on to the doctor. It's, scanned to the doctor. If not, then they might have to eventually return to do another study. And then there's another study that's called an EMG, and it's a study of the nerves.
Interesting.
And that's usually through like carpal tunnel, arthritis. What else? If they have like, I try my best not to read like the charts and stuff like that because it's all confidential information.
Yeah.
But it's
HIPAA.
Yeah, but it's normally like it's a study of the nerves.
Very interesting. Are the machines similar to like CT and MRIs?
No. We don't do any of that.
What do these machines look like?
They literally, for the EEGs, they literally put a cap on you.
The one with all like the cables?
Kind of, yeah.
Interesting.
But instead of the cables, it's a little more advanced now. So they put on a cap on you still, and then throughout the entire cap, there's holes on it, and they insert like this gel for it. And the gel is supposed to help just like the machine monitor and read like the brain activity and stuff.
Very interesting.
So that's how that one works. The EMG, I have never witnessed it, but I assume that they have to put something on like their hands. That's the only thing that I've seen so far, that they have to put something on their hands. And I heard that the EMG actually hurts, or it could potentially hurt, but
Just
also
a fucking gang of needles.
But also too because
I found a picture if you're curious.
Yes. So it hurts because
I think they have to do like some type of like shock.
Mm.
And then also a lot of these patients, they're a little older, so they're a little more fragile.
You do look like
Yeah.
yeah, they would shock you.
Interesting. Like a mini defibrillator. Cookies. Cookies. Were they chocolate chip or who were they? I need to bring my reading glasses.
Electricomografía.
Okay.
Electricomografía.
Nice.
Something like that.
Mexicans.
You literally have to like let them know what it is and stuff like that. So there's, that I check in patients and I basically refer them to the right person. Normally, each doctor has somebody that does EEGs, whether every patient is assigned to a specific doctor. One goes on one side of the room if it's for this doctor, and one goes on the other side of the room if it's for that doctor. So there's one of them that's a little more impatient than the other one. So if he has rooms available, he kind of expects us to be very on point.
Just moving it.
Just keeping it moving. Because he even mentioned earlier this morning, he was like, "What's wrong with you both?" He was like, "You guys are a little slow today." Like, he always has some type of remarks. Like, sometimes he'll come up behind me and he'll be like, "Quick, quick, quick, quick." Like,
it's like, bro, you give me anxiety.
I'm not even fucking playing with you. He does give me anxiety.
I bet you he enjoys it. He knows.
He knows. I know he knows. And he's
funny.
a little fucker because he knows when I'm busy and I put my head down, he doesn't bother me. No, he doesn't bother me.
Well, that's nice.
But when I'm not aware if he's checking out patients, because I deal with the front, I check in patients, and then I put them in rooms. Mm-hmm. There's a whole other girl that if they need to do follow-ups, if they need to reschedule an appointment, the girl to my right takes care of that. If I have someone coming in for, to make an appointment, okay, is it your first time? Mm-hmm. No, or yes. Okay, do you have an authorization? I need your authorization, and I give it to this person. Okay, have a seat. They'll call you up in like 10, 15 minutes. She has like 3 or 4 phone calls ahead of you right now before she can attend to you. And if they've already been here, and it's been less than, I think they said like 2... I don't remember. I think it's 1 or 2 years, something like that. If it's less than that, then they can, I think, reschedule for an appointment, just as long as they have their authorization and they give it to the girl. She puts that information in and she gives them another appointment. Boom. If they want to speak to the doctor or his assistant about medication, whether if it's refills, how come they never got this certain medication, I normally have to get the assistant. Who's your doctor? Okay, I got to go get this girl. Or no, if it's for that doctor, I got to go get that girl. Like, it's a lot. At first, I was thrown into the fire. My very first day, immediately put to work. And I started I started getting used to like taking patients to whichever side that they belong to.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I was very slow at first because I really wasn't knowing what the hell I was doing. I was so nervous, but I got it done. And yeah, by the second week, which was last week, they put me in front by myself. So for the first week that I worked, I only worked 4 days. And I spent the first 2 days learning where goes where.
Mm-hmm.
And then I spent the remainder 2 days pretty much getting the hang of organizing the paperwork for consults, or if they were for EEGs, EMGs, if they were for first time consultations, if they were returning. I was like getting it down. It was so much information and it was intense. And I really stressed about it and I wanted to cry. I'm not going to lie. But I really do like to, keep my faith, and I prayed about it, and I was like, you know what? Like, I was just praying, like, keep giving me the motivation, keep giving me, the drive to continue, because I feel like I can't do this. And then the next day, I think I just took a fat rip of my pen just to calm my nerves. And this was the next week, because the doctor was like, oh, is she getting it? Is she okay? This and that. The girls felt confident enough in me to like get it. And I was like, okay, I guess I can do it. And so for the second week, I did it all completely by myself. Not completely to where I'm only in front by myself, because they need at least 2 people. But they felt comfortable with just me being at the computer by myself, because they were already going to move the girl that was there to another position, because one of the other girls that schedules, walk-in consultations and stuff, she was moving to another office. So one woman is being covered for that station, and then like basically someone's moving to cover those stations. And so I'm technically in front by myself with the girl that's next to me. And of course, I work in an office mostly full of women. One of them is very young. She's like in her early 20s.
Okay.
And the other one is in her later 30s.
Okay.
I think the one in her later 30s, there's no way in hell that you're ever going to get away from this. No matter wherever you go, you're always going to find this shit. There's always going to be a hater.
100%.
Always. You're always going to have a fucking hater. And I don't mean to toot my own fucking horn, but this bitch is mad because her makeup is cracking and I don't look like I'm fucking 29, bitch. I look like I'm fresh out of, okay, maybe not fresh out of high school. I shouldn't say that. But I don't look my age, and I get that. I have a lot of people that tell me that all the time. But this bitch, like, I think in a sense she also was getting a little bit jealous because my connect that got me into this job, she's the one who does the EEG studies for one of the doctors. And she immediately, by my second week, she wanted to show me how to do it. So that way I can learn as much as I can in front for whatever I need to learn. And then I can work my way to just do those studies in the back. Because if I'm doing those studies in the back, I'm just by myself. And I don't got to talk to anybody. I just have to go over the procedure and explain how it works. Explain that it doesn't hurt. Let them know what they can and cannot do. And then just input some information in a computer and just sit there for 20 minutes. That's it.
That is definitely less peopling.
And, you're doing that throughout the day, and it goes by fast. A lot of the times you're done by like 2 or 3 o'clock. And if you want, you can still make your hours. So you can still you can decide if you want to leave at 2 or 3 o'clock, Or if you want to get your hours, you can stay for your whole 8 and just catch up on some paperwork. And then do that. That way for the next day, you don't have as much paperwork. They're very lenient when it comes to like how much you want to work. Just as long as that you don't work over your 8 because they don't do overtime. They're doctors. They're cheap as fuck.
Facts. That's pretty cool.
They're cheap in that sense, but they spoil the fuck out of us in the office.
That's nice.
Where are the doctors from?
Do you want to guess?
They're probably Middle Eastern.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, neuroscience is Middle Eastern for sure.
Yes.
That makes sense.
But like I said, they spoil us.
Yeah. They
Like
just don't want to
I
spend more
had,
money.
like, look, let me tell you.
I get it.
I had Portos this morning.
As soon as you said they're cheap as fuck, but they spoil us, I was like, they're Middle Eastern.
Yeah. That was a dead
I
giveaway.
had Portos to like snack on in the morning. And then we had Mediterranean for lunch.
Bougie.
And then someone else still brought in donuts because someone just was like, oh, I want a donut. So they ordered a bunch of donuts. Like,
That's funny.
some of the girls were telling me too that some of their food can get a little bit repetitive. So I'm like,
So what? It's free food.
it's all. That's what I was saying. Like, it's kind of like free
food is
food.
good food, bro.
Like, if it's
Don't
free,
disrespect your boss like that.
if you want like
Eat
just
the
an
free
easy,
food.
quick meal, and even if you don't want it that bad, just get a little bit of it, just to like,
Yeah, just make them happy, appease them.
just
That's
some
nice.
lunch.
This
I
is what
think one
happens.
of them has like a liking to me though. I'm not gonna lie.
Let's milk that
Because
shit.
the way, like, one of them is a hard ass and the other one is very light. Because when my very first day of work, if I'm not fucking kidding you, it was my birthday.
Sick.
It was my fucking birthday. And the other one, he knew it was my birthday, but he asked me to go get him some cake. So I went and I got him some cake. And then the other one, he got kind of jealous and he was like, so what, you bring him cake and you don't bring me cake? And I'm like, oh my God. So I go and I bring him cake and he looks at me and he smiles and he goes, happy birthday.
That's pretty funny.
I was like, you're so cute.
That's
I
pretty
was like,
funny.
whatever. I don't care.
Game recognized game.
Get breaking.
That's funny.
But no, I'm
That's
not gonna
funny.
lie. It at first I did kind of like beat myself up too much about it. Beat myself up and I ate myself up too much about it just because I was like very hard on myself. I was like, I gotta do it like this. I gotta do it like that. But because I was so harsh on myself, I think it allowed me to learn it a lot quicker than I thought I was going to. I'm still, stuck on certain things here and there, mostly because I don't know too much anything about insurance. And that's like the one thing that
You're dealing with all the time.
I'm dealing with most of the time. I'm starting to understand like where to direct them to if they're coming in as a walk-in or if they came in as like a referral. I'm able to say like, oh, okay, like, if you have your authorization, I can give it to this person so they can take care of it for you and they'll let you know when you'll get your appointment. Or if you want to be seen today, I can let you know how busy the doctor is and we'll go from there. But it really just depends because sometimes the doctors can be backed up. Like this last week on Thursday and Friday, one of them wasn't in. So they had to cancel all his appointments for both days. So we only had maybe 1 or 2 people come in. I think it was 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 that came in and never received their message, supposedly, that the doctor had canceled. So they had to let them know, okay, well, we'll go and put you on for this day and, you'll be able to come back for your appointment. If they're complaining about medication, we usually can refer to the doctor that's there and hopefully they'll be able to direct us on like what they'll need and what they won't need. And sometimes we're able to help them if we do have it like in storage with us, or if we don't, then they're SOL. They have to wait until basically this
Doctor
week.
comes in.
So that happened to 2 patients and they were pretty upset. But it's not anything that we have control over.
Yup.
But it's been interesting. I like that I'm getting spoiled there, not just by food. I'm getting my own keyboard, my mouse.
Woo.
I'm getting my own chair for
Oh, yeah.
me. I'm getting everything customized. I'm getting this little monitor stand for my computer. And, like, I'm being spoiled there. And I fucking love it.
That's cool.
So I'm so happy. It's nice. A lot of the representatives that come in there, and these are people that, like, I guess kind of like advertise like certain medicines to the doctors.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll come in, and I meet them every now and then. There's a new person, or there's another person that I've seen like the last few days. And they'll come in and they've seen me. They're like, "Oh, you're new." And I was like, "Yeah, like, you know, I started this, blah, blah, blah." They're like, "Dang, like, that's really cool." And they're like, "Honestly, like, that's really good for you. Like, honestly, if you work here, you can work anywhere. It's like, if you really want to, like, you can work at a hospital after this." And I was like, that's very promising, but we'll see.
That's
and
funny.
he was like, no. He was like, don't feel bad. He was like, I was in your shoes. He was like, I did the exact same thing. He was like, I applied at a hospital, and sure enough, they hired me on. And I was like, that's fucking cool. And he's like, this is what I do now. I literally sell drugs to doctors.
He's a legal drug dealer.
Yeah, he's a legal drug dealer.
Mm-hmm. It's called pharmaceuticals,
Yeah.
not drugs.
Yeah.
That's why. It's crazy. Sit your word up and it's legal. It's like
It's fun, though.
it's like the law that was just passed in. I'm gonna fuck this one up. It's either legislation or Congress. It's one of the maybe Supreme Court, but basically, this also could be misinformation. But basically now, big business can bribe figureheads legally. I was like, that's cool, nice. Change a couple of words. It's not called bribery anymore.
They've always been able to do that. It's called lobbying.
Exactly.
It's always been legal.
But they changed the term again.
Since FBI caught Congress taking bribes and they got charged, so they were like, we're creating something called lobbying where people give us money. Yeah. It was like in the 50s or something like that.
Sick.
Pretty wild.
They passed another law. They made it more legal, basically. They made it like blatantly legal.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Hell yeah, capitalism. We literally live real life monopoly.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's what the U.S. is.
That's what we are, for sure.
I keep thinking like, man, when I have kids, I'm gonna force them to play Monopoly. I don't care how much they cry. They gonna fucking learn until they beat daddy. They ain't leaving this table.
They're gonna learn once you have like all those banks surrounding all the properties.
Fuck. You know, those are some of my darkest moments.
That was. My
I think
brother
so.
would steal my properties all the time.
Wow. Like he would just take them from you, like
Yeah.
Monopoly thievery. Like,
Mhm.
like fuck you, this is mine now.
What a bitch.
That's crazy.
He wouldn't let me win. What a fuck ass.
That's crazy. Even if you bought the good cards, he was
Even
like, "Fuck
if
you,
I
they're mine."
Got the good cards.
That just goes to show you, if you break the rules, you will win.
It could always be your own kind. Could always be them.
Honestly, like, this is gonna sound really bad, but color on color, I mean like same color on same color crime is crazy.
Yeah.
This is across the board. Like Mexicans fuck up Mexicans, whites fuck up whites.
Oh my God, no.
The cool words fuck up the cool words.
That's crazy.
Asians fight the Asians, you know? Like,
Oh
that's just
my
what it is.
God.
It's true. It's never like the Mexicans are gonna go fight the cool words. It's not. So like Pacific Islanders, they usually fight each other. You know?
Usually.
It stays within
I
itself.
never get used to that.
Whiskey?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I think mostly because I've been drinking tequila and pineapple.
Tequila and pineapple's good.
So like this is throwing me off.
I've been drinking whiskey.
Like a man.
Like a man with nothing. See that hair on my chest? It's a little bit, but it's
Me
there.
too. Mine's white
Well.
though.
All right. Moving on. Moving on. I don't want to know about your chest hair. See, that's gross. Wax that. All right. Well.
Are we gonna talk about the darker?
Oh, I'm down. I was gonna be like, in my brain I was like, I'll just leave this out because I'm like, it's fine.
I was bracing myself for it. I was waiting for you to say something, but I figured you weren't, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna say something.
Yeah, because I was like, I mean, we don't have to. We're having a good time, but I'll ask you this: how do you navigate your family's emotions?
In what sense?
How do you navigate your family's emotions during losing a staple part in the family and somebody that everyone looks up to?
I think during the events of the aftermath, in regards to the funeral, the mass, all that, I was very cold. I was very strict. Because to me, it felt like, I understand that everyone has like their own sense of grieving and like how they grieve. But considering that I knew how this person was, whether if it's going out or, at family events, like he was the same person every single time, just very chill, reserved, wasn't bothering anyone, wasn't getting drunk. He was just in his own demeanor. And I always appreciated that about him. Because in no matter whatever situation, even if he has a disagreement or an argument with somebody, he never let that get to him. He just, I might be upset, but it never changed his character. And that's like one thing that I could really appreciate about him. So when I seen people acting out of character from what I would expect, that people that I thought would have respected him enough to not act like that. And that includes being drunk at my dad's mass. And that includes screaming while my dad is being put into the mausoleum. I didn't appreciate that. And so that's when I say that I was cold. If you have that much emotion, there's an outside part of this place that you can go to for that. Don't have that here. You can respect that, or if you fight that, I'm kicking you out. And I have that right to say. And if you don't want to get out, I'll have someone escort you out. Leave that at the door. Now, thereafter, when it came to family parties, family carne asadas, and we were at their house, I let them act however they wanted to act. Because you're outside of the place, out of a person, someone that I looked up to and I respected the most. And that I know that deserves that much respect, especially now that they're not here in physical form. I have very much respected my dad. And I don't think I wouldn't even let his sisters act like that around him, even when he's not here. Some were mad at me. Some were upset with the way how I handled these things. That's why I don't talk to certain people anymore. And they've weaponized that against me because they're trying to say that they've brought up shit in my past that I'm not. They brought up my mistakes in the past that I'm not proud of. and kind of just throwing that in my face and saying, well, like, you're no better. It's a whole lot of emotion.
Mm-hmm.
I try my best to hear them out. The ones that I know that have taken a step back, done some self-reflection, and has told me, you know what, I acted out, and I'm sorry for that. It's a whole lot of like highs and lows, and it's been like that, and it's going to be 3 years in December. Even more so because I haven't, I guess, completely dealt with it. It's just something that's never going to go away. I expect it to, but I don't think about it as much when I focus on myself. But I think about it when I have done more than what I thought I would have done by now. And the first person that I want to call and text is not here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of highs and lows. I just programming my brain to think about how happy he would be to know what I'm doing right now. And I know he knows.
Mm-hmm.
Because I get little signs. So that's what I hang on to.
Yeah. I forget, I was watching something and it was called like Spirit Whispers or something like that. Where like when people that have passed, I guess, speak to the living through signs. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
There's I don't know how this happens, but like there's certain like scents that my dad had, whether if it's like a cologne that he had that I remember growing up when we used to go to like family parties and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a cologne, or it could be just something that I remember from when I was younger. And I remember just it being like just my parents and I'll get those signs, like I'll get a scent, a random scent, and I know that like it's him, like somewhere nearby. Like there's one day, it was like during my time of the month, and I was sad. And the ice cream truck just so happened to pass by my house, and it's been years since it passed by my house. Not years, but like it's been a very long time.
It's been a while. Yeah.
And so, of course, I would always get excited about the freaking ice cream truck. And this time, I was like hitting my pen like crazy. I was like, I want snacks. So I go and I get some snacks, and I give the guy my thing, and my change was only like $1. And like the way he had it kind of folded was like kind of funny. And so I looked at it, and I don't know how to explain it, but it would be like if it was folded in half, but like
Fanned.
it would be kind of like in a crevice.
Oh, interesting.
So it was folded like this.
Kind of like a heart.
Kind of like a heart. And I was grabbing it by the very end. So it was like in like a perfect kind of shape of a heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I knew it felt weird when I had it in my hands. So I looked at it, and I looked at it like this. And the first thing I saw was the heart. And I was like, that's not by coincidence.
Mm-mm.
So it's like the little things. Like you just pay attention. And I think also the one thing that I've been noticing is on my breaks when I'm at work, there's like a church that's not that far from my office.
Mm-hmm.
And I always go in there and I pray. I stop by like all like the little
The candles.
like all the statues that they have inside.
Mm-hmm.
of all the different saints, and I'll go and I pray to each one, and I'll pray to like the very main one that's at the very center, and then they have a little body of water for holy water, and yeah, I stay there. I have like a good like 5 to 10 minutes in there, and then I continue my walk and just kind of like explore like all the little stores that they have around there. There's even like a little shop that has like crystals and stuff like that, and necklaces, rings, little like glass, holders for like your earrings and stuff like that.
That's cool.
There's a lot of like beautiful little shops within that area. But yeah. Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel like how I don't know how to ask this. I don't want to ask this a certain way, but I don't know how to just spit it out.
We'll just trim this and we'll get right to her question.
Oh, goodness.
Just write down a timestamp. And it's more so because my mom's out there hooting and hollering. Because if not, I would just sit here and stare at you on blank air and just leave it like this. I'm waiting.
How do you feel, but like, what do you feel is going to be the hardest thing to process through all of this?
My brain immediately goes to the funeral. Because that's the most real moment. So I've accepted that there is an inevitable. Sure, yes. There's a chance that he gets better and he's totally fine. But high probability of just death, right? So I've accepted that. That means that there will be a day that my pops wants to be burned, but nonetheless, there is a day that we're all congregating to celebrate the end of. And I know that day will be emotionally heavy, so I'm preparing myself for that. Because in the event that my sister or my brother cannot stand and speak for my father, I will not have somebody else stand and speak for him. It should be one of his kids.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't have the strength to, then I have to.
Do you think you have it?
I do. My problem is I'm a crier. So I'm going to start like this. So I ponder it and I think about it and accepting it and not so much looking forward to, but having the anticipation of helps me. And I can say I've done a lot better because even now, like I'll tear up, but I can just hold it. Yeah, that's what I think is gonna be the most difficult. Because this is gonna sound bad, but I've gone through a lot of life without my pops, even though he's been there for me, but it's predominantly been in like support and wisdom and advice. Mm-hmm. So not physically having him is very sad. Not being able to call him or spend time with him is very sad, but I know I'll be okay. So I'm not too concerned about after he's gone. I'm more concerned about appreciating and sharing the time that we have left. That's where my concern really lies.
For sure.
And trying to not let it change the way that we are together or act, in the sense of like, he's not different, basically just like me. He's just going through some shit, but doesn't mean that he is not capable or can't do or yeah. And then I think for me the most difficult up to this point was pretty much what you've shared with me, seeing your dad in that condition. Because at one point my pops was literally like on death's doorstep. So in short, one Sunday my pops calls me and goes, "Hey, I'm checking myself into the emergency room." I was like, okay, why? He goes, "I haven't used the restroom in 4 days." I was like, "What do you mean? Like pee or poop?" And he was like, "I haven't pooped in 4 days." And I was like, "Okay, are you in pain?" He was like, "I'm a little uncomfortable." And then this is maybe around like lunchtime, 12. Fast forward to like 6 p.m. and I'm getting a call from Alex, and he goes, "Hey, are you heading to the hospital? Because I'm going right now." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I just got off the phone with Dad, and he was diagnosed with stage 3B colon cancer, and they're admitting him into emergency surgery to cut out tumors in his intestines, and they're going to be checking his liver because there's also tumors on his liver." I was like, okay, cool. So we went to the hospital. I saw my pops, and what I thought was interesting is that he told me he was like a little uncomfortable, but the amount of pain that he was in that he shared with Alex was more, and then they had him on morphine. You don't put someone on morphine when you're just a little uncomfortable. So I was like, okay, so you're feeling a lot, first of all. Then fast forward like a day or two, he finally has the surgery because it got prolonged, and out of surgery, he was like awake to the point where like he could do this with his eyes. That's it. Fully intubated. He's basically cut from his sternum to his lower intestine, so that they could, lower abdomen, so they could get to all the tumors in his intestines. But he was so depleted. It was interesting. His body looked bloated, but his face and his arms looked like sucked in. Basically looked like a face of death. That's what I remember seeing. And everyone was in the room looking at my pops, and I saw they all turned away and they went like this to cover their eyes. And that was one of those moments where I was like, deep breath, and you'll be fine. So a little clench of the teeth, push those tears down. You stand up for the rest. So that was like my first taste of like, okay, got it. Then after that, he was doing better. Got out of the hospital. He was out for maybe like 2-3 weeks. Goes back to get results for his liver biopsy, stage 4 liver cancer. And they say could be 6 months, could be 3 years. It depends on how your body responds. Okay, got it. So I take it at face value, because shit happens. Could be 6 months, could be 3 years. You don't really know. My pops, he's accepted it. He's, I should say, I'm similar to him in that sense. where we go. I mean, this is reality. We move forward. What's next? So like he knows. He's like, I've got cancer because of the colon cancer. He's got a bag, and he's like, I mean, it is what it is. I got to take care of it. My brother has looked into different treatment options, and he's like, we got to figure out how to get rid of this and how to beat it and keep you healthy and live longer. My pops is like, I'll try whatever you find. And then and my sister's doing her own thing. That's a whole different story. But that's been the transpiring there. So, for me, like I said, I kind of see the writing on the wall. Yes, treatment, cool, could get better, cool, but ultimately we know where it's going. So, in my mind, it's better to make peace and accept it and really let the reality sink in.
And yeah,
instead of trying to fight it.
push it to the back.
Exactly. And that's not saying like, oh, don't do treatment, don't do anything. I'm talking about like the reality of the situation and what's happening. Because it's very easy to just like, all right, let's brush this to the side and just fucking let me focus on my day. Very easy. But and shout out to Alex for fucking starting to do hella cancer research, because that's just not where my mind was.
Yeah.
So, and just how you said, everyone copes in their own way, right? For him is, let me try and do something so I don't feel like I didn't. Or maybe that's just how I'm reading it, but
I can understand where you're coming from with that. And honestly, yeah, I agree. I think, everyone kind of approaches this a little bit different. But, if that, can bring him some type of peace, that, I think should be more than enough for him.
mm-hmm.
I unfortunately didn't know that my dad was sick. He kind of just took that upon himself.
Mm-hmm.
And I lost him in 4 days.
Yeah, it was kind of dropped on you like a bomb, huh?
Yeah, he did. But the first day that he was conscious, I stayed with him for a bit, but I couldn't stand seeing him being in there. He just looked very weak. It just seemed like he was tired and stuff, so I didn't want to bother him. And I think one of the things that kind of really brought me peace is like, one of the last things that I told him was that I love you. And he said it back to me. So that really brought me peace.
Mm-hmm.
That helped me cope with the grief. I still have a hard time with it, don't get me wrong.
No, I bet.
That's something that I thankfully have been able to deal with a little bit better than when the first year, at least, that it happened, or after it had happened. But yeah, I think now that I changed environments, I changed work, I started cutting people off, I just started realizing what was just toxic for me and what was good for me. I like my close, like, little net of friends. Like,
it's nice, it's cozy.
It's cozy, and I have nothing to complain about. And I shifted my mind, because I was just so focused on, like, the negative. Because there was a lot of negative that came out of it. Dealing with the fucking widow, and I'm still dealing with the bitch. Like, there's a lot of negative that has happened from this, from not having the cars at one point to her trying to come after my mom and my aunt. Like, there's a lot of like
messy shit
that has happened. And honestly, like, I said, I was crying about it, I was stressing about it, I was drinking about it. I was literally going on binges and stuff because I was so stressed out from this shit. But then eventually I fucking realized, I was like, dude, I'm only hurting myself at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point in me doing all of this because, yeah, this is one way that I deal with coping with things, but nothing is ever going to get better if I continue to cope like this. Like, I'm just going to continue digging myself in a fucking hole. So I realized that, and I'm like, okay, let me shift the mindset. I needed some type of change. So I started focusing on the positive. I got a new job, even though I didn't really like it at first because I thought I couldn't do it. But I managed to catch on fairly quick because everyone tells me that I caught on pretty quick. I have a new job. I have new opportunities to hopefully move if I decide. I have my weekends off, which is what I was fighting for a very long time.
Weekends off is nice.
You know, it's just shifting the mindset. I still hold my faith. I know, I'm sorry, I don't know if anyone's crazy religious like me, but like I still hold my faith.
I go crazy religious like you. It's fine.
I go to church. I pray to the man upstairs, and I pray to my dad, and then, you know, I try my best to keep a positive mindset because I've always been such an optimistic person. I hate a negative Nancy. I really do. But I managed to turn myself into one. So it's like, I need to stop. So I've noticed that my mood and like everything, just like my overall demeanor has been starting to change because for a while I used to hate telling people good morning. Now I love telling people good morning. No, that's just me. Fuck.
Well, I'm a social butterfly, so
like I really don't mind telling people good morning, especially like or good afternoon when I'm going for my walks on break at work. Like I have like people constantly passing me by, and I work in like Downey, by the way, so it's a nicer like area. And I pass by and people will be passing by, and there's people that work in like realtor offices. There's another like a law office. There's another doctor's office around there. There's a lot of like, you know, offices within the distance of mine. And from time to time, I just see people out or they're taking their little walks too. And
that's cool.
It's cute. It's like, it's the little things.
It's the community. All right.
It's the little things.
All right. Okay.
You know?
I was like, that's ballsy. You just out there saying good afternoon to strangers? Like,
no.
Damn.
You can't do that. Like,
all right. You got like super confidence now.
You can't.
For sure.
You can't do that in like LA or anything like that. People will look at you kind of crazy.
Yeah. Or they'll be like,
people
what you want, my number?
Yeah. People will be like, you know what you got for me?
True. You can't just be a nice female anymore.
Yeah. No, you can't.
All right. I'm gonna ask you the staple question. We'll wrap this bad boy up. It's been a while. During your period of time on this earth, what's something you've learned that's helped you live a better life?
Being nice.
Being nice does pay off, actually. It's nice to be nice.
Because I'm fucking mean.
You're a mean person. Not to me, so it's okay.
I'm
not playing. Like
no, just the way you looked that over, you're just like, I'm mean. Just like
she'll stab you.
I'll fucking stab you.
It was funny.
She will stab you.
My goodness.
No, she's reformed.
I'm reformed. Jeez.
She's not on that shit anymore.
To me, to be a better person, this is actually a specific quote from the Bible. But this guy is Christian, but I like this quote. And it's I don't want to butcher it. I'm not going to say that. But it's basically it goes along the line of like In everything you do, do it as if you're serving the Lord, because the Lord will always be good to those, who do good. And I think that's kind of like a quote that I can really relate to. Like, in a sense, like, yeah, being nice is kind of like a given, but definitely like doing good is what really has helped me live like a nice life, because I know at the end of the day I always do good, even if it's to somebody that I don't fucking like. Sort of depends.
That's true. Depends on, is it warranted?
Yeah. I'd rather just do good, especially because I was raised like that. It's one thing that I've always done, for sure. Unless provoked. Unless provoked.
A little asterisk at the end.
But yeah.
That's funny. It's a good one. I don't think I've heard that. I like that a lot. Do good and serve as if you were to serve the Lord. Sorta. Something like that.
Do good as if you were to serve the Lord. And I know I'm missing a part. Because the Lord will always be good to those who do good. I don't know, something along those lines.
Makes sense. I like it.
But yeah, I think I recently heard that quote, actually. So that kind of like stuck to me, and it's like, huh. And it's like, I mean, what goes around comes around. Good karma. You know? I always
sense.
make sure to return a wallet, or if people drop shit, whatever, their keys.
Me too. I go, hey, you dropped your wallet. Like that. I try.
But yeah. What about you?
It's something that I've thought of recently, which I like. It's not like, oh my god, I thought of it, but something I've been thinking recently. Sometimes it's better to just not act.
That's a good one. I think that's...
Inaction is not zero action.
Yeah. No, that's a good one, because I think that's probably something that I need to work on.
Sometimes you'll end up involving yourself in something that isn't even related to you. You just catch the fucking... You just catch the collateral damage of it.
The collateral, yep.
Yup. Sometimes you can just let that wave roll right over you. Sit there just like a rock. Just look around like, oh shit, it's happening. And you're like, alright, let me get back to doing.
Yeah.
Let the happening happen if you don't know what you're supposed to do. Or if you feel like what you're going to do might make things worse.
What I was going to do to this widow, I'm not going to comment.
There you go.
I'm not going to say any further, but
You're reformed.
I end up... Shut up. I ended up realizing, I was like, you know what? I was like, one or two things can happen. Either this works, or I go to prison.
Yeah. Usually it's
usually the second
50-50.
one.
Yeah.
It's usually the second part.
Yeah.
But no, you're absolutely correct. It's better to like just not do anything. Exhibit A. I'm just gonna leave it alone. But thank you for having me, Hunty.
Of course. Thank you. Please come back.
We shall.
We'll do it again.
We should.
We'll have some more whiskey.
We'll have some more beer.
Oh, yeah, actually. I'll stock the fridge.
Or I'm going to bring my mics next time.
Shit, Mike's Hard Lemonade? Fire. All right. That was a good one. I like it.
Guess who's
Thanks.
calling me?
I know who's calling you.
Okay, can we end this?
Buenas noches.
Can we end this?